Raisi's mysterious chopper crashed back in the news. Untimely death of Butcher of Tehran triggers conspiracy theories. Possible assassination attempt? Or Iranian president's death an accident? 2024 was all about Iran's succession. Raisi death left Iran without key leadership amid heightened tensions in Middle East. And then, tables turned in Tehran. Powerful leader emerged from the shadows to change Iran's regime. Iranians voted in a snap election and picked a reformist candidate. In a significant turn of events, reformist candidate Masoud Pezeshkian has emerged victorious, defeating his hardline rival Saeed Jalili. However, a chilling rumor of a deadly conspiracy has now gripped Tehran. Hardliners in Iran control all the centers of power after the death of Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi, one of Iran's hardest of hardliners. The question was being raised that who will become the next president. A helicopter carrying Iranian president and other senior officials suffered a crash in Jolfa in northwestern Iran on May 19, 2024. The charred wreckage of the helicopter, which crashed on May 19th, carrying Raisi and his top minister, was found early on May 20th in blizzard conditions. Raisi was often seen as a potential successor to Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. He was personally involved in two of the darkest periods of Iranian repression, and his fearsome reputation goes back to the 1980s. Raisi, the ultra-conservative cleric whose tenure as Iran's president was marked by a mass uprising and an increasingly hawkish stance toward the West. As per pundits, Khamenei always wanted Raisi as his successor, or at least wanted to continue to promote him as a leading figure. However, after his untimely death, in the midst of the Islamic Republic's political landscape, Iranians voted on June 5th in a snap election to replace the late hardline President Ebrahim Raisi. $30.5 million of Iran's 61.5 million eligible voters cast ballots on July 5th. Masoud Pezeshkian, who has promised to open Iran to the world, is going to be the next president of Iran. Iranian voters were choosing between a hardline candidate and his more moderate rival in the runoff election. During his campaign, the 69-year-old president-elect promised not to implement any radical changes to Iran's Shiite theocracy. Pezeshkian won election with 16.3 million votes out of 30.5 million cast. However, amid this, the death of former Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi is once again the subject of conspiracy claims on social media. Let us not forget that Raisi won the presidency on a record-low turnout in a poll that mostly excluded reformists and veteran politicians. A cleric first, Raisi once kissed the Quran, the Islamic holy book, before the United Nations and spoke more like a preacher than a statesman when addressing the world. Whether Raisi's death was an accident or the result of a premeditated conspiracy, right now, Iranian society is like a cinder under ashes. A single spark can ignite it again. Khamenei congratulated Pezeshkian on his victory, but alleged there was a wider conspiracy orchestrated by the enemies of the Iranian nation.
In the first round, I thought, our vote didn't matter, and whomever they have chosen will be elected. But now, I felt that it does matter. Our votes can make a difference. This is a crucial moment. I thought my vote might have an impact.
Pezeshkian is considered pro-West, and his next 4 years won't be easy amid a tense geopolitical situation. Tehran in 2024 alone has almost come to a situation of open warfare with the US and Israel in April 2024. Israel launched an attack on an Iranian diplomatic compound in Syria, and then Tehran launched missiles directly at Israel for the first time in its history. As per pundits, Pezeshkian, a veteran of Iranian politics, will have to walk a tightrope between the people, West, and the clergy. Pezeshkian has not shied away from criticizing the Iranian government, particularly regarding its handling of protests, and, similar to former presidents Mohammad Khatami and Hassan Rouhani, he stands for fostering improved relations with Western nations, notably the US.
The question is how many promises by the presidential candidates has been fulfilled during the past 43 years. The results must be felt in the economy and people's livelihood.
چقدر صحبت‌هایی که انجام شده تا به حال صورت گرفته و نتیجهش باید در بازار و در زندگی مردم قابل رؤیت باشه.
Voters warmed up to him because of his promise to engage with the US and the West to resume stalled nuclear talks and find ways to improve the Iranian economy. For this, we must wait, as politics in Iran is so complex that turnarounds are not shocking at all, as very impossibilities should be considered possible. Convincing skeptical Iranians that change is coming will be harder, and Western diplomats and millions of disillusioned Iranians believe the system is too rigid to change. However, considering Iran's dire economic situation brought about by nearly 45 years of tough US sanctions, the Iranian regime may be looking to repair ties with the US.